What round is Oulton? Round 8. 8? All right. 9. Nice. Do you want to talk me through what this is?
This is the 60th anniversary of Yamaha, and that's about it. And we're in a red and white colour scheme on Sunday for race 2 and 3.
You've got special leathers and helmet as well, haven't you?
Special helmet which I need to pick up, special old school number. Jason's the same, just me and Jason.
Wicked.
You're not hinting at having it, are you?
Would go well with my RC. I'm only saying.
I like the number on the back as well.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's what I like most about it.
So Thursday evening, all set up, and unfortunately the camper that I'm in, the cooker's broke, so I've had to come round to Lee's and steal his cooker. Just while I was round in Lee's, I had to quickly run for number 2 because I was desperate. I was just in between cooking, but only kidding, Lee. Lee doesn't let anyone do that in his toilet, and I know if he's watching this, he'll have crapped himself. So the first thing that you wouldn't have seen on TV this weekend was I don't know if panic's the right word, but the stress that we had on Thursday. So Thursday, my team got my bike all set up in the garage, started it up, and unfortunately we had a problem with the engine. So luckily, 2 engines had just arrived in Manchester for our team that we were expecting to get the week after, that we were going to use at Oulton Park. So we had a bit of a mad rush. I drove to Manchester to sort of take some pressure off the team. I picked up both the engines. It was about an hour away. Drove back to Oulton Park with the engines. While I was doing that, the team were taking an engine out of the bike. They fitted the new engine, but the problem was the new engine was obviously completely brand new and it hadn't been run in. So this was about 7 o'clock by the time they'd fitted the engine back in the bike. So the team then rushed the bike to a dyno in Stoke-on-Trent, which was probably an hour away from Oulton Park, and basically sat on the dyno for a number of hours. They did about 300 miles on the dyno, running the engine in, just so it was ready for me for Friday free practice. I just want to say thank you to the team for doing that, because they didn't get back till late in the morning of, early hours, Friday morning. They're the lengths that teams go to for their riders, just so we can race motorbikes. So thank you to those guys for doing that. And I'm pleased to say Friday morning, luckily we started the bike, it was all back to normal, and it was worth going and getting the new engine. So Friday started well. Oulton Park is a track that I love racing round. I think I've got the lap record round Oulton Park. I've definitely got it on a 1:25 from back in the day. And I got down to a decent lap time straight away in the first practice. We ended up 7th, but I just used one tyre the whole session, and I was pretty confident ahead of the rest of the weekend. Free practice 2 came, and unfortunately we went the wrong way with our rear suspension. We tried to put in the setting that we used at the start of the year because I went really well on the bike like that, and we tried something different in the first session which seemed to work okay. But for whatever reason, when we put that in the second session, it just didn't work. So I went slower in the second session. I was in and out of the pitch trying to make it work, and there was a red flag as well, so the session got cut short. So that was a bit of a nightmare, the second session. We were confident that if we put the bike back to where it was in the first free practice, then we shouldn't be too far away. Just want to quickly interrupt this video with some very exciting news, and a big thank you to temprocket.com, who have come on board as a personal sponsor, and they're going to sponsor this channel for the remainder of the season. Temprocket is a unique, powerful tool for finding and booking temporary staff. Harnessing the power of online technology, the platform transforms temporary staff recruitment by bringing the 3 key players, hirers, agencies and contractors, together in one place to deliver a quicker, more efficient solution for all parties 24/7, making life easier for contractors and freelancers, creating more business for agencies and simplifying the recruitment process for the hirer. Temprocket's a win-win-win. Please visit www.temprocket.com for more information. Back to the video. Qualifying came and went, and unfortunately, in true British weather fashion, after some really good weather on the Friday, the heavens opened on Saturday and we had a wet qualifying. So again, it was another wet qualifying in Superstock where it starts wet but then starts drying out a bit. So it was in between conditions. I really could have done with coming in for a new rear tyre with 10 minutes to go, but I was kind of on the tipping point of having enough time to come in to put it in. And the problem is in the wet, if you come in to put a new tyre in, it takes a couple of laps to take the shine off a new tyre, get back up to speed and get your tyres hot again. So it's a really fine balance of coming in and getting more grip from your tyre and coming in and wasting the end of your session. So I opted to stay out, and I don't really know what happened, to be honest. I felt like I was riding really well, but just got bumped down. I ended up 14th on the grid. Wasn't obviously where I wanted to be at all. What was sort of happening in the session was the riders that all came across the line at one point in the session would all jump up, and it's basically the last person to get the checkered flag wins in effect, because each lap that the track dries out, the track obviously gets a little bit faster and everyone improves their lap time. So that sort of happened to me. I went up to inside the top 10 and then got bumped back down to 14th on the last lap. So bit of a shame, but I was ready for the first race. By the race, the track had dried out, and unfortunately for me, I just got in the wrong group effectively. When you qualify in 14th, you have to make a big effort on the first 2 laps to make some big passes and get past people, and I just wasn't able to do that. I don't really know why. I didn't really have the confidence to pass many people, and didn't have that much confidence in my bike. So unfortunately, the front guys got away. I was in the wrong group. It's not their fault, but I was just I wasn't able to ride the way I wanted to ride around Oulton Park. You have to be really smooth and fast and flowing, and I just ended up in a bit of a stop-start group where everyone's braking really late and trying really hard, but we weren't going that fast and everyone got away. So yeah, ended up 11th in that race. That was no one's fault but my own. I had a bike to do the job, but I just didn't make the passes on the first few laps to put me in the right position. So I was really frustrated with myself, but I was ready to make amends in race 2. Race 2 was much better. I started off 10th on the grid. I was able to make a couple of passes this time in the first few laps, and then I chased down 7th place, got past 7th. And Billy McConnell and Olsen were in front of me, who were obviously on 2 BMWs as well. And unfortunately, the front group had all got away at the start, and the very front guys were faster than me. I didn't have anything for them. But Billy and Alex, who were in front, I was sort of catching them over the last few laps of the race, which was positive that I was able to make a step and get back to those guys, which is where I wanted to be. But yeah, 7th place, not where I wanted to finish at all. Felt like I rode as hard as I could. I got the best out of myself, but on the day that was all we had really. We're going to Donington Park next, which is a track that I love riding at, but we need to make a bit of progress with the bike if we want to get back up the sharp end. The team are doing everything they can, I'm doing everything I can. It's just not quite happening at the minute, and it's very frustrating for me and the team because we all put a lot of effort and money into doing this and we want the best results we can. So I'll be trying my best at Donington Park. We're not giving up yet. There's 2 rounds to go now, Donington and then Brands Hatch, 2 tracks that I love riding at, and I'm looking forward to seeing the season out. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.